Well, our next guests are Grammy nominees known for their neo-traditional country sound. We're talking rich harmonies. They are the best of the best. They've got a new album they're talking about. It's coming out next month. It's titled Barely Blue. Welcome to the studio, Mark Weistrach, Cameron Duddy, and Jess Carson, known as Midland. Excuse the writing of your name, by the way. I just do that phonetically.
No, it's actually better.
It's better
to say.
It's been mispronounced my entire life. You know what? We were just watching you do that report, and you know, Jess grew up on a farm out in Oregon. I grew up on a cattle ranch in Arizona. And Cameron actually lives on a farm in Dripping Springs, and he's got pigs, and he's got some mini donkeys.
A lot of things.
Yeah, you got a lot of stuff going on.
There? What's
mostly more animals. Mostly more animals.
Is this really for the family, for the kids?
It's for fun. It's for the family, for the kids. Yeah, it keeps us busy. It keeps us on our toes. I'm worried about this earworm situation, though. What's happening in
the Corn Belt,
in the Corn Belt in Nebraska.
Yeah.
What do we do about that? Is that a harvestable situation? Or do you cut it in half?
They're gonna lose some, of course, and that all affects the yield potential. But no, it is not good. But you're paying attention.
It's fascinating. This is a great opportunity for us to.
Yeah. You ever think about growing where you're?
Yeah, we're doing some stuff. It's about 115 degrees right now.
So you can't. Yeah, you're not gonna.
There's not
it's
a lot
really
going
rocky.
on.
Where you are, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
limestone.
I've got a lot of respect for the farmers that I know how hard it is. My father-in-law Bob has a place out in Longmont, Colorado, a little farm, and we planted crops this summer for my sister-in-law's wedding. But now we're trying to yield some stuff, so we planted like a mixed crop of all kinds of vegetables, flowers, etc. And I'd say we were about 50% successful.
Yeah, it's hard.
Well,
it's hard work.
It's not easy.
40%.
Yeah.
We grew Christmas trees.
Did you?
We shipped about 1 million Christmas trees a year. Yeah.
Wow. Is family still doing it?
My dad just retired, but the farm is still going. It's called Holiday Tree Farm. And then we grew like berries because it was in the Willamette Valley in Oregon, so a lot of strawberries and raspberries.
What a way to grow up, though. And now you're doing it too? You have your own?
I don't, no. It's, where we live in hill country, Texas, there's a lot of cows, but you don't see a lot of crops, at least the area that we're in.
It's mostly ranching.
If the land was cleared, back in the day, somebody got all the rock out of there, then you can have a pasture, but it's so rocky.
Well, important to note, you guys, as you mentioned, of course, we're talking Dripping Springs, Texas. I want to talk about this new album because I know you guys have recorded a lot in Texas. You changed things up for Barely Blue. Getting together, first of all, talk about hooking up with Dave Cobb, one of the most incredible producers right now.
Yeah.
Why Dave Cobb and why now?
Well, Dave, aside from all of his accolades and being one of the most prolific producers across genres, Dave, it turns out, is just a perfect mix, a perfect match. And the way that we mixed together and collaborated it's unlike anything we've done before. And it just was, we just had a kind of an immediate shorthand together. I think that the way that we perceive the recording process, the way that we perceive music and our commonalities in taste, it just blended kind of perfectly together. And much like being a farmer, the crops don't always turn out. But in this case, it was kind of a match made in heaven. So we went out to Dave's home studio, which is out on the Intercoastal Waterways, about 20 minutes outside of Savannah. And we just lived out there for a couple weeks right before Christmas. And it was, I think the three of us collectively feel it was probably the most fun we've ever had recording. It was almost like the recording was an afterthought. Dave was an incredible host and really showed us his homelands outside of Savannah and Tybee Island. And
beautiful area.
Went to amazing restaurants. And then every time we went back in the studio, it was kind of like, it was just like fun time. We couldn't wait to pick up the instruments and get to recording. So I think you're going to hear a lot of that joy and that soulfulness in this record.
Well, I'm thinking Barely Blue. Did you guys have the songs compiled, or did you write while you guys were recording?
Go ahead, Jeff.
We came in with probably 15 or 16 songs. Dave was very involved in the song selection process. We knew we wanted to make something that was very concise, and very focused as far as like a narrative on the album.
So is it a bit of a theme?
Yeah, I mean, I think all of our albums, tell a whole story top to bottom. That's a big part of the song selection process is what songs go together and tell this story. Who are these characters that are in these songs? And so it's 8 songs, and yeah, it's a top to bottom kind of a ride that you can go on.
Well, I love the first track that you guys released. I'm talking about Lucky Sometimes. I was in the airport yesterday, and I've been listening to your song and thinking there was a thing on the back of a sweatshirt that said, "Don't overthink it, just enjoy it." And I feel like Lucky Sometimes really speaks to that. I mean, sometimes you get all green lights as you're heading to work. Sometimes you get to roll a 7. Just enjoy it.
Sometimes you get a 95% yield on the crop.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Just enjoy it, just like your lucky stars.
We don't always write that type of song. In fact, it's probably the only time we've ever attempted to write just a straight down the middle, joyful,
happy song,
tune.
yeah. You make up for it with Vegas.
Yeah, there's a lot of heartbreak. There's a lot of
melancholy.
drinking songs, some melancholy. I feel like this record in general is very melancholic.
Old-fashioned
feeling. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, it's definitely an expansion for our sound. I feel like in ways that maybe only we can hear. But it's 8 songs. Yeah. It's right there for you. No all killer, no filler.
I love it. As always, I think you guys are always, everybody's so excited to have some new music. I've been playing your music and knowing that you guys were coming in, and I had some friends who are in the industry, and they go, there's nobody like these guys. Just the best, just bar none.
That's nice.
The best of the
Well,
best.
thank God for the industry. There's nobody else like us.
Exactly. You're going to stick around. You're going to perform here in studio, not once, but twice. We're going to hear Lucky Sometimes, Old Fashioned Feeling. Is that what's on tap?
Yes, ma'am.
Looking forward to it. Stay with us. Midland in studio.